It's Stephen Graham and Jodie Comer. I saw you cringing a bit there, Stephen, but we'll come to that in a minute. Jodie, it's your first time on The One Show.
It is.
It isn't it? So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now, we had a brief chat before you came onto the sofa, and I've watched you in many roles, doing many different accents. Didn't expect the Scouse accent, I'm going to be honest with you. But I'm guessing you get that a lot. Is that something that people ask you all the time?
I don't know if now they do. I feel like everyone knows I'm from Liverpool now, but it was such a joy to be able to do it. It's also something I've always kind of run away from. I've always had this kind of notion that if I change my accent, I can kind of, delve into a character deeper, but it's not the case. And it was really nice to be able to celebrate it on screen, especially with this one.
And wait, you learned to do the accents with your dad watching adverts, is that true?
Yeah, well, I think, growing up as a kid, I think that's where I became, a little bit fearless, because if there was ever, a funny advert on, we'd always just kind of take the mick at home and do it in the house. So then when it came to auditions and things came through, I was like, oh, I'll give that a go.
Yeah.
It wasn't so daunting.
Ah, brilliant. Now, Stephen, you were cringing a little bit there. I mean, why was that, first of all? Because do you not like seeing yourself
it's just a bit
doing
weird.
accents?
It's a bit weird watching yourself on telly, it really is.
The worst.
Yeah, it
But
is. It's
you
weird.
actually had a very daunting task, didn't you, kind of performing in The Irishman, of doing the American accent with Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. I mean, that must have been quite daunting.
Yeah, it was,
Well, you produced, though,
Yeah, but these are people similar to yourself, when you play football with legends, you know what I mean? These are people that you, as a kid, you grow up, you admire them, you have posters of them on your wall and stuff like that, you know what I mean? And films like The Godfather and Taxi Driver, and to be in a room with these people, let alone be acting with these people, to me was beyond my comprehension of Facebook. Yeah, I give it my best shot, you know what I mean?
Well, you nailed it, mate.
Yeah, I was going to say. We're going to have more from you both in a moment. Plus, we've got two great... Yes, now, Jodie, Stephen. 10 years ago, actually, I didn't know, some people at home might know that you did work together then, and Stephen, you actually helped Jodie by passing on a number to Jodie for her career.
Look, we worked together, and no matter what, I think her trajectory would have gone where it is today, do you know what I mean? But I just give her a gentle little helping hand, and I had a word with my agent, Jane. Hello, lovely Jane.
Love that.
Big shout to Jane. And Jane met Jodie, and the two of them hit it off, and, basically the rest is kind of history.
Yeah, it's absolutely... I mean, it is an incredible story, and kind of it developed a bit more, didn't it? Because you actually got a shout-out from Jodie when you won a BAFTA,
Yeah.
which was pretty special. Did you feel like, I don't know, as a moment, you needed to acknowledge Stephen at that time?
Yeah, absolutely. I've always felt like Stephen was like a guardian angel for me. He's very kind in saying that he believes I would have been where I am without him, but I just don't think that's the case. I think it takes nothing to be kind. And he did something which was very small for him, but actually completely changed the course of my life.
We've got a little bit of a clip here, actually,
Oh,
of
no.
you receiving the award. I think it's only right
God.
we show the people.
I want to take this moment to thank Stephen Graham. Stephen, if I didn't know you were pint before, I definitely do now. Thank you for the generosity that you showed me all them years ago, and for introducing me to Jane.
You know what? It's such
really
a
nice.
special moment. But again, you're hiding from it. Why?
It's just so, I don't know, it's so surreal. It's just so strange watching it
And that
back.
shows the calibre of the lady, do you know what I mean, herself, because she didn't have to do that, not at all, do you know what I mean? That was just something that we knew, and for her to put that out in the public domain and say that, it was just a wonderful
Special
thing
moment.
for her to do.
Yeah. And obviously the connection is still there because you both approached the writer of your new project, Help, and you both didn't even know that you had approached in different ways, that you wanted to work together again.
And we've also been begging Jane for the past 10 years. Is there anything we can do together? And it was amazing. I mean, Stephen's worked with Jack before, and I hadn't. I'd embarrassingly messaged him on Twitter when I was on Twitter, and I was like, I think you're great. I'd really like to work with you. And then Stephen...
And we were at an awards thing for The Virtues. Jack wrote The Virtues that him and Shane developed, you know what I mean? And we made that together. And I just said to him, look, dude, you're busy? And he was like, I've got a few things on. And I went, you couldn't write something for me and Jodie Coleman, could you? And he was like, oh, leave that with me. Yeah. And
as if it's a really small task, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, just write something for us, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you got to tell us about it now. I mean, it's set in a care home in Liverpool, is that correct?
Yes. Yeah.
And it's during, like, the pandemic?
Yeah, well, actually, the story starts previous to the pandemic hitting, and I play a young woman called Sarah, and she's new to the care home, and she meets this lovely man called Tony, who Stephen plays, and we kind of follow their relationship, and then COVID strikes, and yeah, it very much explores the kind of handling of the care homes by the government, and what these people were kind of tasked with, and what they had to deal with.
Wow.
Yeah, we've got a clip actually. Let's take a look now.
This job is about treating people with dignity.
I'm Tony, by the way.
I've had word from the hospital. We're going to be taking on a few more residents.
Was it safely?
Where's your mask?
I didn't know we needed to wear them. Did you know it would be like this?
This is us being useful.
I need urgent medical assistance.
An extremely high volume of calls.
Nobody's picking up.
What's wrong?
Tony, I need your help.
Wow. You know, it's really, really powerful stuff, and it's also very recent. You know, so you can imagine people's emotions when they're going to be watching this. And I know you both did a lot of research into, you know, the roles that you were going to be playing. I mean, Stephen, who was your kind of person you went to get as close to the character as you could?
It was one of those things, you know, with this, you've got a duty of care, I suppose, because, like you've said, people have gone through it, people have lost family members, you know what I mean? And if you look at what's happening now, I think the governments are looking at social care and the reform of that, you know what I mean? Yeah. So these people are treated with dignity and respect. So you have that, you're obliged to play it as truthful and as honestly as possible. So, yeah, I did quite a bit of research. I got a lot from my dad, who works in, you know, a similar kind of field. And also I got quite a lot of information from a lovely woman called Karen, and I got to have, like, I was part of a WhatsApp group for people who suffer from early onset dementia. And I really got to understand them people and, you know, spend quite a bit of time with them. And my main aim, mine and our wonderful director, Mark Munden, our main aim was to play the man and not the illness. Do you know what I mean? That was what we were trying to do: play the character and the man and what he was going through, rather than play the illness.
Brilliant.
So it was a heavy piece to me involved.
Because, like you said, it is so recent. It is going to be so powerful. And The Help is on Thursday, the 16th of September, 9 p.m. on Channel 4. Wish you all the best. But it's going to be a huge hit because it is so powerful. And we're going to be chatting to you guys more in a moment.
Thank you.
We've got to bring Jodie and Stephen back into the conversation. You know, we've had a lovely comment on here for you both, referring to the new drama, Help, that you've got coming out soon. And it's from Mel on Twitter, and she's put, I've already started crying at the clip. That was just on their new show. It's going to be a very difficult watch, but I know they'll do the subject justice and with superb acting as well. I thought that was a really, really nice touch.
Yeah.
Going to have loads of comments about Killing Eve, by the way, so I've got to ask you about that as well. I have to say, I've never met a more liked assassin in my life.
Thank you very much.
I've got my own theories as to why. But, well, I mean, why do you think the nation loves Villanelle so much?
I don't know. I think there's part of them that live through her a little bit. Not in the killing, in like the mischief and the splendour and the not caring what people think. Like, I think that's a huge thing. Like, we care so much what others think of us, and I think there's a freedom in her and a fearlessness. So yeah, I think it may be that.
See, I've got my theory.
Go on.
I think it's the fashion all day.
Oh yeah, well.
It's the dresses. Okay. You know, my wife watches it. She's the same. Oh,
you want the
what is she wear? No. I'll take them for her. I mean, the fashions. It's quite strong in the show.
Yeah, no, it's such a huge part, and it's funny because, you know, when we did season 1, we didn't think it was going to be that huge, and then there was the Molly Goddard moment, and then that kind of set the precedent for everything. Then it was like, oh, now we feel like we have something that we have to live up to every season. But it's, I mean, I get to go in and wear the most amazing clothes, so it's like.
We've got to say, because it's going to be the final season, season 4. We have to say, does Villanelle get her comeuppance? can you tell us? What can you tell us? Come on.
I can't really say anything. Oh, we're nearly done though. It's scary.
Really?
Yeah, we're about to start the final block and then it's over. So I can't think about it too much until I get there. We've got a little way to go.
Stephen, I've got to quickly ask you. I know you've played some huge roles, spoke about The Irishman. You've had a little role, well, not a little, you're playing a role in Peaky Blinders, aren't you? Give me something, please. I love this show.
You know what? I wish I could, love, but I can't.
Can't give me anything?
I can't say anything. No, not really. No,
Honestly.
I'm handcuffed to say nothing. Just all I can say, what a wonderful experience. You know, we're big fans of the show. At all, me and Anna and the kids. And Cillian Murphy is just a wonderful man and a fantastic actor, and it was just a great thing to be a part of. Really.
Can't wait to see it. And thank you both for coming on as well. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
Cheers.
And you can watch all of Killing Eve and Line of Duty on BBC iPlayer.